So what we are saying is that stress can be caused by the situation, by conflict, contradiction, ego, expectation, pressure, demand, inability to cope. Some of the things that are mentioned by you today. So the question is, tell me, what is the solution? How do we solve it? What do you think?
Meditation.
Meditation, okay.
So sometimes we go for little holidays here.
We go for little holidays, yeah.
Resolve the issues.
Resolve the issues, yes. Very good.
Face the situation.
Face the situation. And
Deep breathing.
deep breathing, okay.
Yoga.
Yoga,
Being in the present.
being in the present, okay.
Remain calm.
Remain calm. How do we do that? Your targets are not met, your pressures are there from outside, your ambitions are not being fulfilled, people are contradicting you, and women all over the place. How do you stay calm? So what we are doing is also we are trying to find the solution in changing the situation. Let's take a holiday, let's solve the problem, let's face the situation. Let us change the relationship, let us change the job, let us do meditation, let us do yoga. All the things you suggested. Right? So the idea is, let's do something. Let's do something and let's change something. Let's solve something. Let's find the answer to something. But what are we presupposing in the cause and the solution of stress is that it is both external, that the cause is outside and the solution is outside. That in the world of things there is a cause, and if I change that, there is a solution. This is what we are presupposing. And that's the reason why it doesn't work. And that's why we remain stressed most of our lives. Because all these changes that we affect in the outside world is very temporary or transient. You can take a holiday, but you have to come back. You can meditate, but you have to come out of meditation sometime, and the world is there waiting to grab you. So the first thing is that as long as we put the cause and the solution outside of ourselves, there is no solution at all, or the solution is very, very temporary, short-lived. It's basically allopathic in a way, you know. If you have a headache and you take a crocin, so for the 3 hours there's no headache. This is a kind of allopathic solution. Because we say the cause is in the head and the solution is in the head, not in me. Now, the idea of what I have kind of designed for today is that I don't want to give a lecture, but I think it would be much more effective if we do things and we learn ourselves. So I've designed a series of exercises that we will do with us today. The first of these exercises I will come to, but I want to read what is stress for you from the internet. This is the definition I have downloaded. Stress in humans results from interactions between persons and their environment that are perceived as straining or exceeding their adaptive capacities and threatening their well-being. Which means that the word perceived as means what is outside is seen as exceeding my ability to cope with it. So the element of perception, that means this is how I see it. The element of perception indicates that human stress responses reflect differences in personality. That means one person will see the same situation as not stressful and the other one will see it as stressful. You know, when I was in Austria, the Austrians would tell me, you know, this is two countries, Germany and Austria, just next to each other. But there's a huge difference. I said, what's the difference? They say in Germany, they say, this is a problem, but it is not a disaster. We can solve it, we can control it, we can do it. And the Austrians say, this is a disaster, but that's no problem. So it's the same thing that is viewed differently that produces stress. This basically reflects the very strong controlling nature of the Germans. Everything has to be perfect and in control. And in Austria, things are very, very no problem. It's like, you know, Indians will be very happy in Austria, basically. Because nothing is important. So it's just an attitudinal difference that produces stress. You know, there is a famous story of the two Buddhist monks, an elder one and a younger one, who were walking. And there was a river and there was a beautiful young woman. And the elder one just picked her up, crossed the river, put her down, and both walked. And the younger one didn't say anything for 2 hours. And then he said, "Oh, you did, you know what you did? We are not supposed to do." And the monk said, "What did I do?" He said, "You actually touched and lifted a woman. We are not supposed to do that." And the elder monk said, "I lifted her and I put her down. You are still carrying her 2 hours later." So it's just how the attitudinal difference between two people is that creates all the stress. So for that we'll do one exercise, very simple one. And that exercise has to do with Taj Mahal. So what you need to do, you've got this exercise book. On the first page, exercise 1, you will write just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 words that describe the qualities of Taj Mahal. So I often do this exercise with my homeopathic colleagues and students in big seminars. And this is the simplest exercise that we can do. And we can see that each one has a pattern. Some things are a little bit common. But when you look at the words together, these 5 words, they form a pattern. There is something here, execution of project. You will find that it is not there in the last one. Here you have romantic, awe-inspiring and nostalgic. And here it is beautiful and timeless and symmetrical. So each one, though they look at the same thing, but they look at it in a very, very individual, specific way. And if we can get this first concept, everything goes from here. It all starts from here. That there is nothing in the world that anyone can look at objectively. Each thing that we look at, each person, each situation, we can only look from the standpoint of our own sensitivity. So these words that you have written do not reflect the Taj Mahal at all. It only reflects your own sensitivity. So this person who talked of execution of project, this is the most important thing for him. And this is not to do with Taj Mahal, it has to do with you. This 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 has to do with you. And you will find that whatever you have written, those 5 words, you will see that in every other situation in your own life, irrespective of Taj Mahal is there or not there. You followed? So what you have written is only about you. It has nothing to do with Taj Mahal. This is the very simple thing. When we go a little further, it gets even more clearer. This is little hazy right now. Okay?